Hello all, and welcome to my first video of the year. 2021 so far has been a lot like 2022. Although it's like 2020 also, like it's really a lot. It feels like there are lots of things going on at one time. Like time is on crack is how I feel about this whole situation. So I mean, maybe that was Capricorn energy, but I've been utilizing this time to do a whole bunch of shit. I can rearrange my room, rearrange my business. Everything has changed. And I felt like I needed to do a welcome. Let's just start from scratch. I feel like every year my goal is to help the newbies, so to speak, the newly awakened, the baby witches, the people who are just getting into this and have a hard time in groups because some of these people in the groups are assholes because they're vets. Or in the closet, either. There are a lot of quotes with all of this, but it's a weird time when you're starting to wake up and you're realizing everything around you is like low-key a lie. So you sort of have to find a new space. I'm feeling very fortunate right now. I'm almost up to 30,000 of you guys that are here, and I just want to do my part and give you all the information that I wanted in the beginning. When I was looking for a platform, this page for me really just started as wanting to create a space for all us people who wanted to learn and learn in a way that did not make us feel like we were I'm looking for the PC word, a way that didn't make us feel like bad because we didn't know everything off top. I try to break everything down in very simple ways. And since we talk about astrology so much on this page, I wanted that to be the first video I do for this year, this reset. Astrology 101 sort of kind of. But this is like understanding what a chart is, looking at the houses, just getting a overview of what this is, just so if you're somebody who's just getting into this, you can understand what your chart is. Because a lot of times I see you guys in the comments, and thank you so much for all your support. I can't respond to everybody all the time because it's so busy. But some of you don't even know what the chart is. They don't know what they're looking at. You go get the chart and it gets more frustrating for you. And I believe that everybody should just be able to have a general understanding of what they're looking at here. And that's what we're going to get into. So this is a sample chart I'm going to use today. It's one of my friends who, if he realizes it's his chart, he'll be really excited. He was an example. So I can spill some tea on him. So what's going to happen here is this layout is the breakdown of the way that the sky was set up at the time that you were born. All of these things within this area represents the planets, the stars, asteroids, whatever you include in here. And I just did a little basic poll here. This is the usual stuff that I represent in my readings and things that I feel that everybody should have in their first reading, their first chart, to get an understanding of what the game plan is. Because that's exactly what this is. This is a blueprint for your life, this journey, for this chapter of your soul's evolution, because you have been many different people. You've been different genders, different races, all in the goal of you getting big bonus points when you return back to the astral world, when you return back to spirit world. It's like Mario. You're playing a Mario game and you just really want to do the best. This chart is comprised of everything that you wanted to accomplish that you didn't get to, and the things you owe back from the lessons you needed to learn about, like whatever, because everybody has all sorts of different lessons. All of that is right here. And so all of these energies enter your body at the moment that you take your first breath, because we are made up of protons and neutrons and molecules. We all learned this in elementary school, although the way they taught it to us, it didn't help us to understand. We're all frequencies. Like, you ever look somewhere and you just see static? We are all just static. So at the moment that you were born, this is the static, the magnetic force that you took into your body that pulls you along the way of your path. Now, what is the path in your chart? The path of your life is the ascendant. This is the path that you take your whole life. It goes all the way around. This is a journey that you're continuously taking. From Hellenistic astrology, I see there are like, what is it, 10 cycles? Maybe not. No, that's too much. 8 cycles, 6, something like that. Oh, 12. Everything is in 12 years for some reason. There's a setup here that goes around it. Either way, you are taking the path your whole life. That is the journey. Now, on this journey, you are taking a flashlight with you, something to lead the way that will take you on this journey. And Libra ascendant, that's being a partner. You're learning how to be a partner, how to balance. The flashlight is your north node. The north node lights the way you want to go to step away from where you've been. The south node, which you can add, let me show you guys real quick. If you use astro.com, I know it can be difficult sometimes. You're gonna come to this page. This is extended chart selection. Anytime you make a chart on here, oh, I'm sorry, I got your little name out there. Luckily, it's cool. So when you go to make a chart, you're gonna come to this page after you made the chart. Hit extended chart selection, and you're gonna hit descending node. Now I got to put everything else in here. I particularly like to do the part of fortune, which is the part of your, like your sprinkle in your chart. The vertex, which is something karmic you have to pay back. It could be a relationship. Most of the time it's a relationship or a marriage because it's only found in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th house. So it can be a coworker or a job too. Lilith, that's your dark feminine energy or what you like in dark females, like the spunk, the dominatrix part. Chiron is the moon that you have to heal in your life. And this Pallas that I don't even know if I'm saying right. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Pallas is where your unique genius is, where you really know how to put together a plan. So that's what I always add in there, and that's unextended. So your south node is where you're coming from. Chances are in this life, because the north node returns every 18 and a half years for you. That means that every time or all the time before that you are walking this path, and with this person, this is having a business locally, being an entrepreneur, really being invested in family because it's conjunct his 4th house cusp, which is the house of family, being really close to his family. His mind is just really oriented in community and doing things locally. But in this life, it is meant for him to take his flashlight. He would have options at 18 and a half, and then another set of options that popped up again around 36 and a half for him to move more than 2 hours away from where he came from, somewhere he's never been before, and work on family, work on caring, learning, stepping outside the box. This is just creating a new belief system for himself outside of what he learned from his family. That is the flashlight he's taking on the road of partnership and balance. So when you first read those 2 areas of your chart, it sort of lets you know what the game plan is. The rest of this is all about chapters. So this area down here represents relationships that you have with yourself, according to the 1st house, relationships that you have with money and your value for the 2nd house, relationships you have with your younger siblings, people in your neighborhoods, anybody local, like the elementary school you went to, the baker down the street, the taxi driver, anywhere within a short trip distance of 2 hours from where you grew up, but also where you are currently, just what's local to you. This is your relationship with your family. This is your relationship with your children and your self-expression and your little flings and dates and like friendships. Now, the 6th house is your relationship with coworkers. All of these houses down here are about developing through relationships with other people. The interaction. I'd say sort of the same thing about the 7th house. The 7th house is your relationship with your partner, anything that has to do with contracts or the public eye. The 8th house is about life-changing things, things that are going to transform you. These are things that are outside of this little local, everyday things that we have to do, these base things. These areas up here are more about things that are required for you to step out into the world, for you to do something beyond developing self, which is down here. And the 8th house is your relationship with other people's money, your spouse's money, trauma, sex work. The 8th house is really a doozy. I would do a whole video for the 8th house. Now, the 9th house is about your relationship with God, the universe, your belief system, foreign lands, foreign foods, universities, like professors, like just real smart energy here. The 10th house is about your relationship with the public eye, your career, the way that you're seen in the world, reputation, fame is the 10th house. The 11th house is about how you connect to communities, your soul tribe, the people around you, how you network. This is the house of the internet, but also your wishes and dreams and what you hope to gain. Now, the 12th house is about things that you have to give away. Like maybe you overused the planets that were in your 12th house at some point, or they were at a detriment. So they got watered down this life in order for you to learn some sort of balance, but you're pretty much dissolving of self. This house is about giving away something in order to stream through messages that are needed by people. This sometimes is the house of karmic fame, but it's also service, but it's like rewarded service, I guess, if you will. It's definitely woe is me artsy house because of the Pisces energy, the overwhelming feeling of being connected to the universe, but then having to realize you're on Earth where the energy doesn't hit the same with this. So the next thing I want to review here, because we just went over the houses here, it's our the planets. Wherever you see Pluto, that is connected to Scorpio and the 8th house. Wherever you see Saturn, that is connected to Capricorn and the 10th house. This part of fortune is just a sprinkle. This is an asteroid. This represents where you have your good fortune, where you, like with this person, they're sexy. That's supposed to be what it is. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is his chart. That is hilarious. I'm going to send him the link just to get the reaction. But he's supposed to be sexy. His looks, his magnetism are supposed to be with his luck. There's also a restriction in looks that doesn't happen until later on because he's so focused on a partnership that was meant to transform him. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Saturn is a planet of restriction, which usually Saturn is like it. Saturn is like Jeepers Creepers. It's the thing that comes back to haunt you every 27 years, literally. I think that was like a great way to reference the fact that movies and music and television shows are ways that the universe gets us messages to help us understand these archetypes, because what we watch on film is merely a representation of the archetypes that we are, the 12 paths we're taking, because there are only so many configurations that can be done within these 12 energies, which are the zodiac. So Jupiter is all about your expansion, where you receive the most growth, where you have the most potential to grow. Cancer, the moon is connected to Cancer and the 4th house. That is all about your feelings, your connection to your mom, your connection to other women and stuff. I forgot Jupiter, damn it. Jupiter is connected to Sagittarius in the 9th house. This is about Zeus, Zeus energy here. Uranus, my favorite, is connected to Aquarius. Aquarius is in charge of the 11th house. This is Pallas. Pallas is the one I clicked in there that I keep messing up the word. But that is your unique genius, the place where you have the potential to put together a plan. This person is able to put together a plan based upon his own philosophies about connecting with people locally. That's just his identity of who he is, networking, connecting, clicking. Your sun is your identity, who you are, who you appear to be, the character you are developing or playing this life. Neptune connects directly to the 12th house, and Pisces. This is about what you owe karmically and sort of the foggy area over here, because it's sort of still a giving away of something. This is connected to his sun, his identity. Something about him is having to give up himself for a little while until he moves away from all of this energy, because the sun is connected to the 5th house and Leo, and that energy of you just being able to be yourself. Venus is the planet in control of your money, your values. It is connected to Taurus and the 2nd house. Mercury is all about your mind, how it works, how it connects to other people. Communication. We're about to find out a lot about that during the Mercury retrograde, which is coming up. So Mercury is in charge of the 3rd house and Gemini. It's all about the communications, and his is at home here. So this is a real talker. He is a real talker. So this is the South Node, which we've already discussed. This is your IC. Your IC is who you are when nobody else is around, just at your core. The tone usually set by your family. This is a business person. This is an entrepreneur. His mind is literally thinking about the bag all the time. This is Lilith. Lilith is where your dark feminine energy is. I mean, for guys, it's what you're attracted to in females. But this person here, you really like somebody who's focused on family or getting the bag or taking care of family with this here. You would never date somebody who did not have money, because a Lilith and Capricorn female would definitely not date a broke dude ever. So it's sort of the same thing here. Now your Mars is ruled by Aries in the 1st house. This is all about your drive, your passion. What makes you get up in the morning? What fulfills you, sort of, kind of. Now, the vertex that I explained earlier is only found in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th houses, because it's a karmic thing. Shows where you have something that you owe, typically a relationship, something that was fated. This is a marriage that was fated for this person. That was the ends of a phase in Aries and the beginning of a phase in Taurus for him. I'm saying that so he can laugh like, wow, God is amazing. Because that's what I think every time I look at, oh, there's my mic. Every time I look at these charts, like, wow, God is wild. There's been a blueprint the whole time. I'm happy to be privy to this information. So the next thing you look at is this Chiron. Chiron is the wound that you have that will always be the thing that stings, but it's because you're meant to get over this thing and sort of use it as fuel. This person would be dealing with uh, a lack of fun. Something has to do, because remember, Taurus rules the second house and Venus. Not until he stepped into his own business and his own money would he be able to get over this wound of not having his own money because of his relationship with his spouse, which was karmic over here. We have made our way back around to the North Node, but I want to hit on the descendant. The descendant is the beginning of your marriage house, but it is also your shadow side. What is the complete opposite side of you? What energies balance you out, or the things you might not even notice about yourself because it's on the opposite side. But I've seen a lot of people not feel the people that they are dating or that they've known to be the sign of the seventh house. So maybe sometimes it's just the qualities. I know it played out very literally for me. Like, I have Aquarius on my seventh house. I'm married to an Aquarius. It's very, very literal here. The MC is your midheaven, medium holy some places. This is your idea of heaven on earth. What is the peak for you? Also the beginning of your career house. For this person, it's being a family, being a dad, being known as a family. But then later on, because when you have a split cusp, you have to embrace both energies during transits. You can click which transits here, right? So these are called transit planets. They are showing you how the sky is set up now and how that affects the planets that you originally have. It also sort of tells you what part of the chapter you're on. Now, this is the North Node in transit, my favorite part, because at this point, you have to imagine this as a, what's the word? Dark room. As a dark room. If this is a dark room, this is the developer. This is the thing that makes the picture comes out, and it's the only thing that runs backwards unless it's in a planet is in retrograde. So as this rolls backward, it develops other parts here. He just had a North Node return. When that happens, that means a path opens for new things for you to step away from this road and step out into what you actually came here to do. That's what happens when you get done with your lessons, or when you finally learn these blueprints and figure your way out of the game. Because this is literally, like, after looking at so many of these charts, this is like Q. This is like Saw. You have to figure out how to get out of your karmic loops and learn your lessons and trust your intuition. It really is actually more unlearning the stuff that made you not trust yourself. How about that, eh? So this is a natal breakdown. What was I? I was explaining transits. That's it. I'm like, hold on. All right, so these transit planets ping against what you have here, and they build different energies across that, guiding you on the path to achieving your full ascendant mission. This will go fully around. These planets go through it, like the moon goes through every sign almost during the course of 30 days. It's the fastest moving one. But we have things that are opposite, like Uranus, which is in Taurus till 2026, or Chiron, which is now in everybody's Aries, which would explain any issues you're having with energy or drive, or just any feelings you have about your independent sucking right now. And Aries for, I think, till 2027. It's ridiculous. I think I tried to erase it from my mind. But we have went over all the planets and all the points, and you should understand, even if you have to listen more than once, the blueprint that you were looking at, that is the map, the cheat code for your life this time, just for you to figure out what is going on. What was I supposed to be doing before all these people put stuff in my head that made it cloudy? And hopefully this will be a confirmation when you're able to read your own. Or if you need a reading, I will leave my link down below. Confirmation that you need to get back on the path to do the thing you came to do instead of the thing you got pushed into doing because we're just trying to survive here. So thank you all. Y'all have a great evening, day, whatever.